as nobody could have predicted what happened next. They act like two legends cannot coexist. J. Cole raps on the chorus of his 2019 hit Middle Child, although Kendrick is determined to stand alone at the top. 2024 would prove to be the year.
So
which
that's
saw
the
Kendrick
thing, like, nigga, two number one niggas can't coexist at the time. Nigga, ain't no two number ones, nigga. You gonna be number one, you number two, nigga. And that's the thing. That's what I don't like about J. Cole and Drake.
Devil is a lie, looking for the prize. That's eternal life, bringing the change in my mind. Talking real peace of mind.
What's up, YouTube fam? It's your boy KingMarcell, and we are back with another video. We are about to talk about this video by 1111 called Kendrick Lamar Banded J. Cole. Now, I don't like the name of this video. I'm not gonna lie, because it's basically making it seem like Kendrick did something to Cole, when if you really pay attention to everything that has been going on with the Kendrick and Drake stuff, even though, you know what I'm saying, it's been almost a year going on talking about this shit. Kendrick let it go. I feel like Cole let it go. I feel like Drake is the only one who still like is down bad by the situation and fucked up, and you know what I'm saying, still like spiraling. But the narrative that Kendrick did something to Cole is crazy to me, because again, if we pay attention, I feel like Cole was the one who was throwing shots at everybody. Cole started talking hella shit in his music. He start basically claiming he was the number one guy. He did. Like, are we gonna ignore that over the last couple projects that J. Cole has dropped? On the feature run he had went on and everything, that he's been stating he's that nigga. Even in First Person Shooter, he said on the song with Drake, man, he's stepping on them niggas. So this whole thing that Kendrick abandoned Cole when Cole knew Kendrick and Drake had beef, and knowing that, and it seemed like you had more of a connection with Kendrick first, that you just sided with Drake, went on tour with Drake on somebody who was considered Kendrick op, and then still thinking that y'all finna be cool. That shit weird as hell, bro. Like that's weird. That's some weird shit. And people can try to say, oh no, it's business and this and that. Man, y'all can play them type of games y'all want to, but when shit gets serious like that, I'm not finna fuck with somebody who's fraternizing with my enemy. Cause then it just look like you a spy over here or you a spy over there. You know what I'm saying? I don't play them games. So you know what I'm saying? So we about to get into this video. Make sure you guys like this video, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so that you're notified whenever I drop a video here. We on the road to 500 subscribers, so make sure you guys are subbing up and joining the kingdom. But with that being said, let's get right into this one.
It's not no just a regular rapper friendship. This is my mother brother right here, J. Cole. Make some noise for my
15 years ago, J. Cole tried to sign a young Compton rapper named Kendrick Lamar.
Went from that to all this
going on
bullshit.
to produce for Kendrick's debut album, work on, quote, countless unreleased songs together, and then both tease what could have been the most legendary collab album ever for over a decade.
That mixtape that y'all,
oh man,
it's like folklore. It's hip-hop folklore.
Album, man.
The Kendrick J. Cole mixtape album.
And do you still have some stuff with J. Cole coming?
Man, I
dropped that out the sky.
I was one of those fans that wanted that shit to drop. I'm not gonna lie. I thought that was gonna be probably on par with Watch the Throne. Cause you got some of the best. Them niggas, I literally, like I say all the shit I say about Cole and shit, but I can't deny his pen. All the way up into this beef, he was top 3. You know what I'm saying? He was 3, I felt like. Honestly, I put Cole 2. But, you know what I'm saying? People said Drake was over him. But he was in that conversation. So to have literally the 2 top niggas in the game drop an album together. Then they had dropped the those 2 songs. They had got on each other's songs. They was like teasing that shit. What was it called? I think it was Black Friday or some shit. That shit went hard. I'm like, okay, hold on. Then that shit never came out. Never came out. And we always wonder why, but it's, man, now we looking back on it, man, it was all this underlying bullshit going on.
I ain't gonna give no dates, no nothing.
We know for a fact that a Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole collab album exists somewhere out there on a hard drive.
Yeah.
However, as we're about to see, thanks to everything that's went down these past 10 months, there is zero chance we'll ever get to hear. Instead of close friends and collaborators, J. Cole and Kendrick are now dropping diss tracks at each other. But how did their relationship crumble so fast? And could it ever be repaired? Well, as the duo finally begins to shed light on their past drama, including this one specific bar from Cole giving fans hope, in this video we'll uncover the truth about Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole. Regarded as two of hip-hop's big three, Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole are arguably the best rappers to ever touch a microphone.
They are.
However, the unfortunate truth is, the third member of the so-called Big Three and the most streamed rapper on the planet,
Not no more.
is entirely to blame for Kendrick.
Y'all let me know down in the comment section. Do y'all think Drake is officially kicked out of the top 3 conversation? To me, he never was in it. I don't think he wrote any of his songs. That's just here on this channel. That's what I believe here, y'all. I'm not, you know what I'm saying, telling you all to believe what I believe. That's just what I think. I don't think Drake wrote any of his shit. And I believe that shit back when Meek Mill exposed his ass. I ain't been rocking with Drake ever since then. Y'all kept fucking with him. Y'all kept supporting him. I didn't. I know you can't deny the hits that he had, but I'm like, you ain't writing this shit. I question everything he has written since then. And now finding out all this shit. And there's been hella more reference tracks coming out these songs not his. He's an actor. So he's not in the top 3 conversation. So y'all let me know, to y'all, is he still in the top 3 or has he faltered off and fell off of it for y'all as well? And if he did, where would Drake fall for y'all in the current state of hip hop today?
And Cole's sudden separation.
Let's start a
Or at least
conversation.
so you think. As we'll see in a second, J. Cole's loyalty to Drake stems back literally over a decade. But yet, as it turns
Jewish
out,
boys.
before Drake was even seen here buying every CD he could of J. Cole's Born Sinner album back in 2013,
They probably got more than that, yeah? Hell yeah. Fans are gonna come here and they can't get one.
and before Drake was shouting out J. Cole as his brother on stage in front of thousands,
I just want you to understand.
No, that's dope though. That's dope.
You are genuinely, without a doubt, one of the greatest rappers to ever touch a
Oh, ain't got them niggas kissing on stage.
what if I told you that prior to forming this extremely
that
tight
shit's
friendship
sweet
with
as hell.
Drake at Drake's bar back,
Oh,
J.
that
Cole
shit's sweet
actually
as
found
hell.
Kendrick Lamar first,
Goofy
and
as
even
hell.
discovered him before Dr. Dre. For the first time, I had found someone that loved this shit as much as I loved it, recalls J. Cole of meeting Kendrick in 2010. He took music just as serious and has a similar taste. It felt like your cousin coming over to your house. The first time that J. Cole and Kendrick met was 15 years ago at a photo shoot for the 2010 XXL freshman list. But despite guys like J. Cole, Nipsey Hussle, Wiz Khalifa, Freddie Gibbs, and Big Sean named to the list,
They all
Kendrick
my
Lamar
nigga.
was not. But
Yeah.
instead was at this photo shoot to support fellow TDE artist
J-Rock on that.
who did
No
make
shade at J-Rock,
At this
but
time
come
in
on, the
2010,
Kendrick,
though,
the
all
fuck
J. Cole
is
had
they
out was his
thinking?
mixtape, The Warm Up, and Kendrick was yet to even drop Section 80. Then, after initially crossing paths at XXL, it wasn't until a listening party a few months later they both attended when they really got the chance to connect. And immediately, as soon as he heard Kendrick Lamar rap for the first time in his life, J. Cole knew he was a star in the making.
I met Kendrick at a time when all I had out was the warm up. Nobody knew who he was. He didn't have a deal. He was signed to Top. I didn't know he was signed to Top. I actually wanted to sign him. But in my mind, he was the first person I ever found that I was like, yo, I'm telling everybody, like, yo, I'm trying to sign this kid. Like, yo, this nigga's nasty. 'Cause what happened was I was at a party in LA.
That's crazy.
This group called You and I release party. We went, and at the party, you know, they had a few songs, and they brought this kid up. You know, this short ass kid. I'm looking at this short, you know, dark skin. I'm like, yo, who's this kid? Like, and then he gets on the mic and murders. I'm a rapper's rapper, and I'm not easily impressed. You know what I mean? And when I saw him, I was like, what? When I heard him, I'm instantly like, I'm looking at Eve like, yo, this nigga's crazy. Like, I gotta go let him know that he's ill.
J. Cole, did you tell Dr. Dre about Kendrick?
Who told you that?
The two exchanged contact information and would stay in touch fairly often. Then, as Cole recalls, it was Kendrick who reached out for their first ever collab. Except there was
That's actually
just
crazy
one thing.
to think
It wasn't
where Kendrick's career would be if he got signed to J. Cole. That's wild to think about. Them two being on like featuring on each other's shit and going, that's crazy. But would Kendrick have kept his sound though? You know what I'm saying? Because Cole being a producer and shit, and he being from, you know what I'm saying, North Carolina, and his sound really like is more like a, I want to say like New York sound. Would he have changed Kendrick's sound? I don't know. That shit sound crazy. If that shit would happen, it would have been wild.
J. Cole's 2010 mixtape, Friday Night Lights, and a track that Cole actually produced himself. I remember Kendrick hitting me like, bro, I need one of those, talking about how crazy the beat was. Then when I was out in LA, he came by No ID's studio and I linked with him. Cole continues. I played him the beat for what would become the track High Power, which would land on Kendrick's debut album. And when I played some beats for him, I was like, bro, you can have these if you want.
That's gonna be one of the ones we check out in the series.
It always stuck with me because I had never heard nobody say this to me before. He was looking at me like, bro, are you sure you want to give me these? I'm like, yeah, go ahead and take them. He was like, bro, you sleeping on yourself. And it struck me because it was actually the stone cold truth of my reality at that time.
And I will say, as a producer, Cole is one of the rawest in the game. The fact that all of his projects, most of the beats, most of the things on them is artistically formed from his brain. He be on his Kanye shit, you know what I'm saying? Cole definitely be on his Kanye shit like a motherfucker, man. But do he spit like Kendrick though?
Was grinding hard and really working to also establish.
But that's why I say it would have been interesting if Kendrick had signed to Cole and Cole being the producer that he is, you know what I'm saying? Him tailoring, just, man, think about Kendrick Lamar's career funneled through J. Cole beats. Like the type of beats that I like that's what I was thinking about when they was putting out the fact that they was gonna drop an album. I'm like, man, Kendrick on some Cole beats and them niggas, see that shit gonna go crazy. And then they never dropped that shit, but that shit, man, if Kendrick had signed to Cole, that sound probably would have been nuts. I'm not even gonna lie.
As a producer as well, and along with making the beat for the Section 80 single,
I'm not gonna lie.
Clearly, Kendrick Lamar was a big fan of Cole's production. Thus, it only made sense for Cole to then produce the majority of beats for their collab album. We don't have a title.
Exactly. You see what I'm saying? That's crazy. Do not see this shit. But exactly though, because that it just makes sense. And we gonna do an album together. Why wouldn't I be, first of all, to save money, and it got that flow on it, you know what I'm saying? Like, Cole beats, like Kendrick and Cole on some Cole beats, Joe. They probably get a couple Kanye beats on that bitch. That motherfucker probably was nuts. Wait, what did they say? We don't have a title or release date yet, but J. Cole got like 90% of the production so far. They was 90% done with that motherfucker? Oh, bro. A waste of time and talent, bro. I want to hear that shit. I want to hear that shit.
XXL of this legendary project, but J. Cole.
Let me know down in the comment section y'all want that shit to come out still.
Me and J. Cole working on right here.
Yeah, you see what I'm talking about?
I'm not sure if they ever made anything with that beat in particular. However, these are far from the only two instances where each of them have teased this mysterious album. Cole and Kendrick not dropping a collab album is hip-hop's biggest crime. Fan comments. Possibly the biggest bucket list album we've never heard. It's no secret that a J. Cole Kendrick album would be massive. Again, we know that it exists, and the thing is that they both seemed like they wanted it to drop. So the question remains, why did it never come out? Did something go down behind the scenes? Well, prior to rapping that Kendrick Lamar, quote, fell off like The Simpsons, on his diss track last year, 7 Minute Drill, literally ever since the first studio session that Kendrick and J. Cole had though, rumors have swirled about a collab album together. And I guess it makes sense why. It's a lot of music, I'ma put it to you that way. Kendrick Lamar told Vibe magazine in 2010 about his work with J. Cole. It might not be just one song. With a massive mutual respect for each other's craft, the two began working on what they were calling Top Secret. And of course, this sent fans into a frenzy, instantly jumping to conclusions.
I was one of them.
We did really, in that moment, talk about it. Then, a couple months before his first album came out, we worked on a bus, and he came to Fayetteville, we worked on a bus. But he came and we did a few more songs on the bus. So at one point, it was a real thing.
Cole admits that the album was real, But while the duo of Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole were still yet to release an official song together as of 2010, 1 year later at a meet and greet with fans for Section 80, Kendrick would preview this first sneak peek of a song with J. Cole.
Often I'm caught up in confusion and need a dissolution. They tell me the solution is see through this illusion. I'm living, a few friends killed, a few sent to prison. Caught up in confusion and trying to find solution to try to flip the system as a form of prostitution. I'm city probably see me as the nuisance daddy.
This still unreleased track
Like
that Kendrick wrote, titled Temptation was not only featuring J. Cole, but also produced by him as well. Yet
They
both just continued to tease
they
fans.
missed out on a big ass bag. Cause that probably would that album would probably have went down as one of the greatest albums of all time. Literally. Like one of those hip hop golden childs. That's what Cole and Kendrick could have did during that time. Imagine that 2012 Kendrick and Cole. Waste. That shit a waste,
My
bro.
favorite songs on the project
No
is a
lie.
song called Shock the World. Kendrick said in a 2011 interview, Cole laid the first verse down and set the tone for the whole record. It's going to shake up a lot of people. Combined with then more interviews such as this J. Cole and Bootleg Kev one a year later, hype was skyrocketing for this already anticipated album.
Yeah.
And yes, they were calling it an album, not a mixtape.
That mixtape that y'all,
Oh man,
it's like folklore. It's hip hop folklore.
man. Album,
The
man.
Kendrick J. Cole
Album.
mixtape album.
Album.
And do you still have some stuff with J. Cole coming?
Yeah, we're gonna drop that out the sky though. I ain't gonna give no dates, no nothing.
However, obviously nothing would drop out of the sky as another year passed
Cap.
with still no album.
Niggas was
But at this
capping.
point though, in 2013, Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole were each becoming massive stars in their own right. Both riding extremely hot off the major success of their second albums, Kendrick's classic Good Kid Mad City
Yes,
and
sir.
Cole's Born Sinner in 2013,
Yeah.
which actually included the pair's first official song, Forbidden Fruit. But then, as they began to start and get serious about dropping their album together, unfortunately, this is where they ran into problems. Now I see why these joints don't happen. J. Cole pulled MTV in 2013, but it's a different thing when you got Will and both your minds are set on it. It should happen. What Cole was referencing here are the difficulties that come with releasing a collab album as two superstars.
Yeah, because that's the thing. These niggas are on two different labels. So the clearing the samples, the clearing of the verses and all of that shit could be a headache. That shit could be a headache like a motherfucker, for real. But I think during this time, Cole had his own shit, right? Am I wrong? I'm not too up on Cole shit, you know what I'm saying? But I believe because he was talking about signing Kendrick. So that means Cole had his label then, right? So if Cole had his label, that should have made shit a bit easier, I felt like. Because Cole was dropping all his shit through his label. So it's like, I don't know. It probably was on TDE part. They was probably, because again, Kendrick was signed to them. They was probably like, no, we're not clearing this nigga shit.
Specifically, all of the records.
That's probably why Cole said that shit.
And to make matters worse, at the time, Kendrick Lamar was signed to TDE, Aftermath Entertainment, and also Interscope Records, along with his publishing handled through Universal. Meanwhile, J. Cole was signed to Rock Nation, with his distribution managed through Columbia and his own Dreamville label. That's a lot of people you have to go through and make happy. But yet, the two remain positive they could get it done. It's coming, J. Cole insisted again in 2013. We already got too many songs. Even if you just get an EP, you're gonna get something. But we
didn't even get that shit. We didn't even get the fucking EP.
Is there gonna be a Kendrick Lamar J. Cole album?
Man, definitely. I still would love to do it for sure. I talked to the bro probably a little bit over a month, and he's on the tour rocking, so we're gonna try to make something happen.
This question will be asked a lot, so I'll just answer it here. Typed J. Cole in a Reddit Q&A 10 years ago. Me and Kendrick have some really good songs in the stash, but haven't had a chance to properly work on a project. An album will come in the future, but probably not this year.
1,000% cap. Never happened.
Crazy to say this, but
they was
10 years
holding
ago
us,
now
man.
was 2015, and by then, Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole were proven stars at the top of their game, having each just dropped another masterpiece. combined with J. Cole claiming that he was happy for Kendrick. Well, at least back then he was happy for him.
Right.
Again, now he's saying Kendrick is past his prime. But as the two would keep bringing each other out at their shows over the years, it was clear they were genuinely good friends.
Another Down and Dream show, we got a special guest. But yeah,
It's my turn.
Blood on my dick, cause I the court. I'm a nasty. When you pass me, nigga, look me in my eye and tell me to my face you ain't ready to die.
As the year of 2015 came to a close, Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole did have one surprise in store for their fans though. After watching Drake and Future release their smash collab album What a Time to Be Alive in September, just 2 months later in November of 2015, something happened which would send fans' hype to an all-time high. The day was Black Friday. Out of nowhere, Kendrick and J. Cole decided to release remixes of each other's hit songs exclusively on SoundCloud. J. Cole would spit bars over Kendrick's Alright instrumental, while Kendrick put his own spin on the Tale of Two Cities beat. But despite both tracks being a pleasant Thanksgiving surprise, it was these lyrics here in the outro of J. Cole's song though, which instantly caught everybody's attention. Rapping,
But this February, bitch, shit gets scary when I fuck around and drop.
And then it never dropped.
At first, many fans took this as February 2016 being the month for the release of Kendrick and Cole's album. Then to add significantly more fuel to this theory, Kendrick Lamar's sister, Kayla Duckworth, also made this Facebook post, not only telling her followers to go check out her brother's new song, but then confusingly adding here at the end what many fans believed was the album's leaked release date. Collab drop February 16th, so be on the lookout as well. However, despite anticipation through the roof, February would come and go without even a mention of an album. In fact, months would pass with still no new news. The most info we'd get was this tweet in 2017 from Top Dog President Punch, who even he didn't seem like he knew what was going on. I was just playing about that Dot and Cold joint. It's coming for sure, maybe. I don't know, it might happen. Actually hit them. Months continued to pass by, and any hope we'd ever get to hear this collab album was diminishing, continuing to still pop out at each other's shows, including Cole, who made an appearance on the Damn Tour in 2017.
One finger, everybody. Side, top, bottom, left. Everybody up top, I see y'all and shit. I put a finger in the sky if you want it, if you want it. If you want it.
Despite no bad blood between the two, at least at the time, a year later in 2018, J. Cole would speak again about the possibility of an album with Kendrick, but unfortunately, it was far from what fans wanted to hear.
So does this mean there'll never be a Kendrick and Cole album that everybody seems to think is happening?
Not for that reason. It's not that I wouldn't want to work with him. That's not the case.
So that's not a real thing. That's like some fantasy thing.
It's not. It didn't come from nowhere. It came from us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's not like it's something that's actively happening.
They shouldn't get their hopes up?
Nah.
J. Cole told fans they shouldn't get their hopes up, but also took responsibility for both of them leading us on for so many years. And then, aside from a short 2-bar chorus from Kendrick, on the intro track...
Cause I ain't gonna lie, I'm really starting to get the feel that it was down that Top Dog and them that got in the way of the project. Cause again, Cole had his label. Yeah, he had his distribution deal and his deal with Interscope and everything. But, I mean, with Def Jam Records or whatever it is, he could move around that. You know what I'm saying? He could work around that. Yeah, I could see it being way harder for Kendrick to get shit cleared, to get shit going. You know what I'm saying? Because he's signed to all these different people. That's fucked up. That's fucked
Cole
up.
In Dreamville's Revenge of the Dreamers 3, the last we heard of this Kendrick collab tape was in 2023, when J. Cole went on Lil Yachty's podcast and said this.
But bro, time in life, we ain't never got a chance to like really go in. Right. And bro, when you got two successful artists with lives and families, it's like, bro, that's hard to do.
Cole put the collab album rumors to rest for the final time. Understandably so, fans were sad and disappointed about what could have been.
Definitely
but
so.
Just a year and a half ago, though, when J. Cole said that on Yachty's podcast, Cole and Kendrick appeared to still be good friends. That's my man, first and foremost, J. Cole stated back in 2010. I just feel proud because I've always seen it. The truth is, J. Cole was really one of the first rappers to ever co-sign Kendrick Lamar, and has literally been there since the beginning, watching him grow into the star he is. However, on the other hand, they say sometimes you have to cut certain people off along your journey. And little did either of them know, but the year of 2024 would go on to destroy Kendrick and J. Cole's friendship forever. as nobody could have predicted what happened next. They act like two legends cannot coexist. J. Cole raps on the chorus of his 2019 hit Middle Child, although Kendrick is determined to stand alone at the top. 2024 would prove to be the year.
So
which
that's
saw
the
Kendrick
thing,
and
like, nigga, two number one niggas can't coexist at the time. Nigga, ain't no two number ones, nigga. You gonna be number one, you number two, nigga. And that's the thing. That's what I don't like about J. Cole and Drake, is that they play this facade for everybody, right? It's like it's two sides of these niggas, bro. In 1 second, they want to be the victims. They want to be seen as, you know what I'm saying? How do I say it? Squeaky clean poster boys, right? They want in one setting, they want that you know what I'm saying, setting around their name. But then in the next, they want to claim the top spot. But in claiming the top spot, you gotta bark at the rest of the dogs. You know what I'm saying? You gotta keep everybody else in line. You gotta show your might and your power. And it's the fact that they try to play both sides, like they not cutthroat, but then they cutthroat. They not cutthroat. They nice and sweet guys, but then they cutthroat as hell and they running shit. Kendrick always has stated, I'm the number one guy. I'm the top guy. No one else is fucking with me. They all my peers. You know what I'm saying? We all doing the same shit. We all rapping. But at the end of the day, nigga, I'm running this shit, period. And they mad that he don't play the game like they do. Cause they want to all eat and shit like that. Kendrick like, come on, y'all gonna eat regardless. But it has to be a definitive numero uno. And that's with anything. But that's the thing. Cole and Drake didn't never want that conversation because they always knew, no, it is a top dog and we ain't it. When it comes to that pen, we not the, even I feel like Kanye know, man, we can do all of this shit that we want to. We can do all this shit in the public view. We can have these reputations of 1 second being the bad guy, 1 second being the good guy, this and that. We can have this and that. But we know deep down who really is running shit for real. Who is doing everything to their art, that is everything coming from their camp is coming from that person. And that was always Kendrick. So that's why they always wanted to keep it, man. Oh no, it's a big three. And it's not just one person who's running hip hop. It's three of us. And what the man, Kendrick like, there ain't no motherfucking three of us keeping this shit alive and running this bitch. This me. And y'all here. And that's period, bro. And then people try to make it seem like Kendrick is the problem. He not the problem. They the problem. Because in it being that discrepancy of who is the one at the top, these niggas been able to get paid and they've been detrimental to our communities. Yeah, I don't get no fuck with nobody say. The shit Drake has done to the black community is worse than, man, the effemination of black men. The reason why he got into it with that nigga, what's that nigga name on Fresh and Fit and shit? That nigga had some truth with some shit he was saying about, when he was talking about Drake, about the feminization of black men. And a lot of that shit come from Drake. Period. And the only reason Drake was able to do that is because, he was able to blanket himself under the umbrella of the big three. Nigga, there ain't no big three. Period.
Go from friends to
you ain't
enemies,
one.
But it was actually a song from the year prior.
That's what this was about.
Off. And despite ironically starting his verse, "Dude's so thirsty to put me in beef, dissecting my words and start looking too deep," J. Cole's first song ever with fellow superstar Drake, titled First Person Shooter, would go on to do exactly that. Ignite the biggest rap beef in history. And caught up right in the middle of it all was none other than J. Cole.
Because you got to think too. Why was that their first song ever together? Why is that Drake and J. Cole? Am I tripping? Let me make sure that's a real take, a good take. J. Cole and Drake songs. Is there more than one pop up? Then, you know what I'm saying? Stand corrected. Oh no, they got a couple songs. Oh no, they got a songs. Okay, no, I said that, but they got other songs. So I can't even. But this is how much I don't listen to Cole. I really like I don't listen to Drake or Cole. Like I don't listen to these niggas. So I strike that one from the record. But I don't think he ever had a song calling out that Big 3 shit. Now, am I wrong about that? We might have to go and look at them videos and I mean them songs and see, but this is the first time I'm ever hearing Drake and Cole getting on a song and they talking about that shit. So it's the fact it was that. Nigga, it ain't no Big 3. How y'all gonna get on a song without me talking about it's Big 3 using my name in the song and then basically saying y'all over me? Get y'all weird asses out of here. Like,
and as I'm sure you guys know, J. Cole, Kendrick, and Drake make up what is often considered hip-hop's big 3. Even J. Cole agrees too, as he would rap these lyrics on First Person Shooter.
Love when they argue the hardest MC. Is it K-Dot, is it Aubrey or me? We the big 3 like we started a league.
First Person Shooter
That's
would
the
surprisingly become J.
Why y'all
Cole's
put that
first,
nigga name in
and as
there?
of now only
He kept telling y'all niggas, don't say my name. I'm the boogeyman. And that's what people don't understand. That's what set him off. I told my girl, instantly when I heard that song, I'm like, why the fuck they playing with Kendrick? She was like, what? She was surprised I said this shit. What you talking about? Babe, they playing with that nigga. I'm like, they dead ass playing with that nigga. And it's like, why? Why now? Like y'all said his name in the song? Okay, I don't think that's gonna go well. And then it led to all of this.
Billboard #1 hit of his career. Can you imagine the numbers a collab album with Kendrick would have done though? But combined with then bars from Drake bragging and comparing himself to Michael Jackson with all of his hits, despite rumors that Kendrick Lamar was also asked to feature too but declined, there was no denying though that Kendrick took offense to this song and to Drake and J. Cole.
I would have too.
And what came next would not only shock the entire music industry, but also the entire world.
As long as there has been rap, we have had rap beefs. If you've been on social media at all recently, you've probably seen this latest one.
This all started when Drake and J. Cole had this song called First Person Shooter.
Kendrick Lamar versus Drake was national headlines everywhere you looked. However, as a close friend and collaborator of both for over a decade, J. Cole was
that chain was just hit like a wall.
Absolutely exploded on March 22nd, 2024. As a hidden feature on Future and Metro Boomin's first collab album, Kendrick Lamar surprised us all by sending shots at both his peers Drake and J. Cole, quickly dismissing this idea of a big 3. F Sneak Dissin, First Person Shooter, I hope he came with 3 switches, raps Kendrick on the song Like That. Mother F the big 3, man.
It's just big me and his
As Rob
bitch.
Workman of Genius puts it,
Just
Kendrick was
big
drawing
me and
a
his
firm line in the
bitch.
sand. His stance is, you can't just say you're the greatest.
You have to be it.
Feel like
You have to, and that's my point. That's what I'm saying. Them niggas didn't want to have to prove that they was big 3. They just wanted to say they was big 3. Yeah, what you mean? Okay, you can say you big 3. Okay, who number 1? They didn't want to have to show who was number 1 because then it was going to show chinks in their armor. That's why Drake and Cole being cool with that big 3 conversation. It's like no number 1 guy who running shit. When Wayne was in the game, Wayne ran the game over everybody. It was no question about it. But now, for some reason, now that these 3 niggas is in the conversation of being the one who runs shit, oh no, it's all 3 of us. It's not like when it was Wayne or when it was Jay-Z or when it was DMX or when it was 50 or when it was Kanye and they ran the game for a minute off their own merit. No, it's all of us together doing it. No, my good sir. It's not. It's not. And he was willing to step forward and put his hat in the ring and say, well, if they want to say we the big 3, I'm numero uno. I don't even believe in the big 3 shit. I don't give no fuck about that. It's either you number 1 or you in line with the rest of them niggas, period. That's how Kendrick been thinking about it. That's how everybody should have been thinking about it. But they don't. They think of hip hop only as a bag and not the art form that it is. And that's what I don't fuck with. That's what Kendrick don't fuck with.
And nah, that is just me. It ain't no 3. It's me.
Hip hop is a sport. Shout out to Screw.
That's what hoping this would finally mean.
I need to get one of them shirts.
Stars duel it out on the mic. As this whiteboard on Drake's tour read, the rap game will never be at peace. There will always be competition. Everyone wants to be the one. But while that is true, if we know anything about rap beefs from the past, we know that it's also true that they can get personal extremely fast. And looking back on it now, not only did this beef get pushed to lengths we've never seen, including Drake now trying to take it to court, clearly this was not the path that J. Cole wanted to take against his former friend. And as we'll see in a second, his new song confirms this as well.
Yeah,
his former friend, though, who again keep in mind only 5 months earlier, J. Cole was talking perfectly fine about Kendrick and their friendship on Lil Yachty's podcast. So how did everything crash down so fast? Well, although Kendrick's bars on Like That were aimed more at Drake rather than Cole, as the other member of this so-called Big Three, which Kendrick also said them in his verse, and not to mention that when Like That released and a bombshell was dropped on the entire rap industry, J. Cole actually happened to be on tour with Drake at the time.
Yeah. This nigga's so lame.
So, in the shoes of J. Cole, there was no running.
Fuck Drake. Drake is sweet.
Just about everybody.
And I got a video down for to make too, man, because I think we was like missing a couple bars, and we let a couple bars during that whole beat go over our heads. I'm starting to think this nigga Drake sweet as hell. I'm starting to think Drake is like, it was the whole beard shit that Kendrick said in Euphoria. Not in Euphoria and Beat the Grams. It's just a couple shits, G, that's making the shit with LeBron. All of that shit, G, is just making me like, low key, is Drake gay? Like, is he dead ass like gay as hell? Cause that's the vibe. Cause like you don't hug no man like that for that long, bro. He do that shit at every show, bro. At every show them niggas was at, he was doing that shit. You see Coach, I let him go, that nigga skip. What the fuck wrong with Buddy ass, bro?
Taking a side in rap's 2024 Civil War, J. Cole was forced
Buddy
to make a decision
weird.
one way or the other. Yet, surprisingly, before Drake even got the chance to get in the studio and respond back, regardless of how he truly felt inside, J. Cole would give in to the internet's pressure and actually respond with a diss track of his own for Kendrick. Originally featured as the outro track for his new project Might Delete Later, which, judging from these vlogs that were posted months prior, Cole had already been planning to drop this project before this beef happened. But obviously his diss response, titled 7-Minute Drill, was recorded recently, as it would hear J. Cole take multiple light jabs at his former collaborator. Now, it's important to repeat though that I said light jabs, with bars calling Kendrick's discography boring and inconsistent, such as "Your first was classic, your last was tragic," referring to Kendrick's albums, claiming his 2022 Mr. Morale was tragic. "Your second album put people to sleep, but they gassed it.
Hey,
that was your prime." Then another bar about his relevance.
"If he wasn't dissing, then we wouldn't be discussing her."
As well as rapping that Kendrick fell off like The Simpsons. Seen as more of a warning track,
and that bar, and I didn't see nobody else say that shit but me. If we wasn't dissing, then we wouldn't be discussing him. But didn't you say his fucking name in first person shooter? Like, I know I'm not tripping. Am I living in a fucking Twilight Zone? Did you not use this nigga's name in first person shooter that set all of this shit into motion that made him diss you, and now you made this diss track, and then you in this diss track time, so I wouldn't even be talking about him if he wasn't dissing me? Bitch, you said something about him first. They're like, these niggas are so weird, and it's the fact that people don't be seeing that shit, and like they let shit like that just go over their head, and they don't give a fuck about that shit. Nigga, you said his name first, but you wouldn't be talking about it if you wouldn't. Nigga, he didn't say anything about you. Y'all all been sneak dissing. All of y'all was sneak dissing, but he didn't say your name in no songs. You did that shit. Shit is fucked. The hypocrisy is crazy.
J. Cole was hesitant about even responding from the very start, which, given their long past history that we just learned, makes a lot of sense. Lord, please don't make me have to smoke this man, cause I with him. Cole even raps on this same diss. However, despite being named 7-minute drill, 7 minutes is just a little shorter than the amount of time this diss track stayed released. And as it now turns out, J. Cole's next decision would not only lead to the most backlash he's ever received in his career, but also in the eyes of some fans, may have just maybe opened the possibility the two could rekindle their broken friendship.
No.
If we're being honest, J. Cole has never claimed to be some hard street rapper. And after dissecting the lyrics, again, the majority of Kendrick's disses were aimed at Drake, but as fans eagerly waited on the edge of their seats to see how this three-way beef would play out, just 2 days following the release of J. Cole's new mixtape and diss track, he would host his annual Dreamville Festival in North Carolina. A weekend full of big-name performances we can see here. However, as Cole himself took the final stage to close out his sold-out festival, although admitting he fully knew the response that this would elicit, J. Cole's closing speech left everybody in shock.
It's one part of that that made me feel like, man, that's the lamest shit I ever did in my life, right? And I know this is not what a lot of people want to hear. I know I can hear my niggas up there right now like, nah, don't do that. But I got to keep it 100 with y'all. I damn near had a relapse, right? And I was conflicted because, one, I know my heart. I know how I feel about my peers, these two niggas that I just been blessed to even stand beside in this game, let alone chase. So I felt conflicted because I'm like, bro, I know I don't really feel no way. But the world want to see blood. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I moved in a way that was...
Then to blame it on the world want to see blood. Nigga, ain't nobody say you to say that nigga name in that song, and ain't nobody tell you to say nothing back to that nigga. You did that. You made a choice, and you made a decision, and stand on it. Then you try to make it about this way that like, I don't feel it. It's fake. It all seems so fucking fake to me. I feel like he another Drake, G. Cole is putting on an act. This shit is an act. This nigga's getting paid to do this shit. The whole time behind him. Like the shit he do with Kanye. First he cool with Kanye and then he talk bad about him. Then when he wants something, he cool with him. Then this nigga weird. These niggas be weird, bro. Weird as hell. Y'all already know them J words. Cause a lot of people don't know he's Jewish too. J. Cole is Jewish. He's not a Jew. He's Jewish. There's a difference. His mother, I believe, is a white woman. He's Jewish. And it's like these motherfuckers is like I feel like the Jewish people have been using people like Cole and Drake to infiltrate our communities. Literally. Literally. And it's like, man, motherfuckers act like they don't want to see that shit. They don't want to say that shit. Fuck that.
I try to like jab my nigga
This shit
back,
is fake.
and I try
This
to
shit
keep
is
it friendly.
weird.
But at the end of the day, when I listen to it and when it comes out and I see the talk, that shit don't sit right with my spirit.
He knew them bars was weak as hell and kids was gonna kill
What I
that
want to
shit.
say right here tonight is in the midst of me doing that, trying to find a little angle and downplay this nigga's fucking catalog and his greatness. I want to say right now tonight, how many people think Kendrick Lamar is one of the greatest motherfuckers to ever touch a microphone? Dreamville, y'all love Kendrick Lamar, correct? As do I.
Not even 48 hours after releasing his diss track, J. Cole was walking back his previous actions. As he said, due to days of not sleeping, as he was so deep in his head to the point where he literally almost relapsed, J. Cole then came to the decision to publicly apologize to Kendrick Lamar for the way he moved. But it didn't stop there.
I say all that to say it made me feel like 10 years ago when I was moving incorrectly. And I pray that God align me back up on my purpose and on my path. I pray that my nigga really didn't feel no way. And if he did, my nigga, I got my chin out. Take your best shot. I'm gonna take that shit on the chin, boy. Do what you
Man, I'd be dissing your ass side down.
We taking that song off of
You know what I mean? If I was Kendrick, I'd be dissing this nigga to the day I die. Him and Drake. Fuck wrong with these niggas,
In
bro.
addition to apologizing, J. Cole announced that he was going to delete 7-minute drill off of all streaming platforms.
Like we still can't go listen to it.
living up to the project's name. As the caring and compassionate dude he is, Cole simply did what he felt was right. However, despite acknowledging that he knew it would let a lot of his fans down, that is exactly what happened.
J. Cole, bro, what are you doing, bro? J. Cole apologizes to Kendrick Lamar for dropping the diss track. Bro, ain't no way.
disappointed that their favorite artist basically self-removed himself from this battle of the big three, which fans have been waiting for years. But while I get that people are mad, because even if Cole was conflicted, he did still make the final decision to drop his diss. At the same time though, others like to argue that J. Cole simply saw where this beef was headed, then realized he didn't want to be involved.
That's not an excuse.
To his mistakes.
That's not an excuse. He was already involved. And that's what people try to say, oh no, this was just a beef between Kendrick and Drake. No, the fuck it wasn't. This was that whole conversation about the big three. These niggas got on the song claiming it was a big three. Cole had been sneak dissing these niggas too. Drake and Kendrick. They all been sneak dissing each other. Basically claiming the top spot. But then when they really calmed down to see who really about it, niggas tucked their tails and ran, G. That's what happened. Motherfuckers can try to shape any narratives they want to around this shit around this nigga, G. I don't buy it. I don't feel this nigga. I don't fuck with. I ain't listened to this nigga since. And these niggas have not dropped anything that's worth listening to since the beef. I haven't listened to a J. Cole song. Even that shit that came out where he was apologizing to Drake and shit motherfuckers was talking about, I didn't listen to that bullshit. I didn't listen to none of the Drake shit. Because it's like at this point, y'all want to keep listening to these niggas. Hey, that's going to be on y'all. But these niggas is weird. Y'all can do whatever mental gymnastic y'all want to. And y'all heard about these two niggas. That's on y'all. But I know here on this channel, we gonna say what it is. J. Cole is a weirdo. Period.
Man.
Drake is a
very
weirdo.
Genuine guy.
Period.
Reads this tweet from Top Dog's Punch a day later. I respect it. We often give in to external pressures and outside influences and act out of our own character. It's rare to have enough heart to make the correction. It didn't align with him, so he fixed it in the same manner he engaged. Salute. But regardless of how you personally feel, this risky decision to apologize will forever be remembered in J. Cole's career. And although this courageous move did show us that at least J. Cole is potentially open to working together again, however, how did Kendrick respond? Despite his viral apology, this hasn't changed the fact that we still haven't seen Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole together in years. Honestly, I don't even think they've linked up since before the pandemic in 2020. Some fans like to speculate that Cole possibly reached out to patch things up with Kendrick behind closed doors.
Yeah, no, I feel like it was an interview. I don't know if it was an interview, but it was a video that came out with J. Cole and Drake. They were sitting in a car together. And Drake had gave Cole a watch. I feel like that was when Kendrick stopped fucking with Cole. That was when, hey baby, that was when they stopped fucking with each other. Well, let me say, that's when Kendrick stopped fucking with Cole. He was like, oh yeah, I peep gang, I peep sing. I peep with y'all on, and I'm cool. I'm cool on that. And that's why they ain't fucked with each other and been seen together since then.
I suppose could
that's
be
my
possible.
observation. I could be wrong.
At the time I'm making this video, Kendrick Lamar has not said anything else about J. Cole. He just released his new GNX album in November, and it seems like it's back to business. However, that is not the case for J. Cole. One random Wednesday night on October 10th, 2024 to be exact, fans were met with a new surprise track from J. Cole
song.
as soon as they opened
Listen to this shit.
Now, I've already dove into this strange trend of rappers dropping songs on Instagram in a previous video, but titled Pork Antonio, this new single from Cole would hear him touch on his chaotic year, and finally explain in more detail why he backed out of the beef. Rapping, I pulled the plug because I've seen where that was about to go. They wanted blood, they wanted clicks to make their pockets grow. They see this fire in my pen and think I'm dodging smoke. And then, finishing out with this bar, which sums up his entire mindset in one sentence. I wouldn't have lost a battle dog, I would have lost a bro.
But ain't this the same bitch ass nigga who have been rapping in all these motherfucking songs and all these motherfucking features that he been getting on saying that he gonna kill everybody in the game? That he really numero uno? How the fuck did he let this come out of his mouth? And this ain't fake? This isn't fake to y'all? Y'all still listening to this nigga? Because after this, I was hearing motherfuckers talking about, yeah, Cole, he spitting on this. What? Are y'all fucking dumb? He did this. Ain't nobody do this thing. He talking about people wanted blood. He wanted blood. He was talking shit. And what? Am I living in a fucking Twilight Zone, Jay? Because ain't no way y'all letting this nigga shape this narrative like this. Ain't no
Or we can see
way.
that despite being initially pressured by the internet and fans into choosing a side, J. Cole bowed out of hip-hop's biggest beef simply because he had too much respect for both rappers
fuck outta
and the
here.
friendships he'd built through the years.
One of the first cats to welcome me with open arms in this motherfucking music business when I ain't know shit about it. You feel me?
And I think hip hop is a sport, so you're gonna have these little spits and spats.
If you really think about it, the disses that Kendrick and J. Cole threw at each other were definitely weak compared to what Drake got. And in my opinion, I feel like Kendrick had his sights set on Drake this entire time, and was gonna go for blood regardless if Cole stepped in or not. However, at the same time, Kendrick Lamar has made it clear that if you're not with him, then you're against him. And despite J. Cole's best efforts to carefully toe that middle line and balance friendships with both rappers, as it appears today, Kendrick Lamar's biggest problem with J. Cole is simply that Cole knows about everything he has called Drake out for, such as being a culture vulture or his love for under. But yet, J. Cole continues to be all buddy-buddy with Drake.
Exactly.
With that being said,
That's
it remains
the
to be seen
problem.
if J. Cole's apology was enough to rebuild his deep-rooted relationship with Kendrick Lamar. But considering their extensive history of over 15 years together, as two of the best to ever do it, it would be a shame if this is truly the end of Kendrick Lamar.
No, it wouldn't. I don't want to hear shit. I would love to hear that old album. You know what I'm saying? Because that was from a different time era. You know what I'm saying? That was from a different point in their careers. I would have loved to hear that sound. I would still love to hear that sound. But as far as them getting on something now in the future, then they can say that shit. If I was Kendrick, I would never work with neither one of these bitch ass niggas again in my motherfucking life. Because the weird street these two have been on give the people they come from a very bad name. I'm not gonna lie, it legitimizes the things that it said about these people because it's just culture vulture shit. It's just culture vulture shit over and over again, and we can't call them out on it because then we gonna be named anti-Semitic, even though we the Semitic ones. All of these ploys that these people do is sick as hell. It's weird as hell, and I don't respect it. So again, the title of this video: why did Kendrick Lamar ban J. Cole? No, why was J. Cole playing these COINTEL Pro games with motherfuckers? That's what the title of the video should have been. But you guys like this video? I mean, actually, let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Am I reaching? Do you guys think I'm reaching when I talk about Cole? Am I lumping him too much with Drake and the type of things that Drake is a part of, or am I dead on? like let me know about tripping. But if you guys like this video, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell so that you're notified whenever I do drop a video here. We're on the road to 500 subscribers, so make sure you guys are summing up and joining the kingdom. But with that being said, KingMarcell out. Peace.